Welcome back, everybody, again. We're getting into game number one. This time, we're all the way through picks and bans. We've got everything locked in. We are about to head into the delay period. So we can talk you through picks and bans. We were watching while it was happening, but we didn't want to jump into the game and kind of go through all the picks while the server was still having problems. So we gave the teams, I believe the admin said that we could freshly redo the bans because there were a couple of little bugs. Kha'Zix was banned out in the previous set, but Unicorns of Love never got that, and they picked it first. So mostly the same bans here.
Yeah, mostly the same bans. Nothing missed out. Yorick and LeBlanc coming in from Rain again. They don't want to see that on the map on the side of Unicorns of Love. And again, Vizzy in the top lane with that Kha'Zix. He's not going up against someone like Ryze now, so he's going to go up against Jax. However, Jax's Counter-Strike, which will be taken early, will not stop Kha'Zix getting his isolated Q, obviously because that is a targeted ability and not an auto-attack.
Yeah, so to run through the picks and bans, I believe it was the first pick Kha'Zix once again from Unicorns of Love.
Yep.
Then it was answered by the Leona Jax. Now, we've seen Warrior on Jax a lot this weekend.
7th game in a row.
7th game in a row that we've casted for them. Leona has been a hotly contested pick for Hylasang down in that support role.
This is exactly what Rain did in the winners bracket final. They banned out Morgana, and then Unicorns of Love didn't prioritize Leona and then took the Thresh. And Blackjack's had really solid performances on Leona. I mean, he's missed a couple of solar flares here and there, but he's been good otherwise. And Nutri on Shyvana. Now, are we going to see him run riot like he did in that jungle, getting to around 100 farm in about the 15-minute mark, hitting that feral flare very early on? And Digger on Lulu in the mid lane. The first time I think we're going to see him picking up that. And again, Slight on Vayne. Now, Vayne was the pick that he picked up in the last game of the winners bracket final, I believe, and went really big on her.
I wonder whether Vardags and Hylasang this time will play the lane a little bit different, because I believe it was Lucian Thresh that we saw against that Vayne Leona in the Rain Unicorns of Love game, and I'm wondering, will they come into this with a slightly different game plan? Focus Vayne a little bit more, stop Slight from getting any kills in that early game, because Slight actually picked up a few during those early fights and really started snowballing the game really hard. Yeah,
and Master of Sheepy is again on Zinza. We saw that in the previous set of games between them and FM eSports. Now, he didn't get that feral flare very early. Zenzao does not farm the jungle at the speed that Shyvana does, so he's going to really struggle to keep up if he does opt to go down that route. Obviously, Zenzao has the versatility. He can go either Ancient Golem or Spirit of the Azad Lilda. And he may even opt for Ancient Golem, considering Kha'Zix is in the top lane, and Vizzy did not go a tanky build on Kha'Zix in that top lane.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I wonder how this is going to work out, because Jax is a champion that is going to be very consistent in the late game, whereas Kha'Zix, he has to get snowballing, and
he's very position reliant. Like he really needs to get those isolated people on the side of Rain. He's going to have to find the picks on Slight, whereas Jackson kind of sit in the middle, and he'll get the counter-strike off, and as long as he's auto-attacking people, he's going to be doing damage.
And it's quite surprising for the maybe unfavored team. I guess now Rain are the favored team. They are 1-0 up in this final, so I guess we can stop saying that Unicorns of Love were the favorites coming in, but they really have been playing this late game composition with the Jax and the Vayne a lot, and it's been paying off for them in every single game.
Well, in the current meta, Riot have been sort of forcing it to move towards those late game. You do have the early game snowballing, but right now, late game is the name of the game, So you're getting towards the sort of 30, 40-minute games, and people who shine at that kind of level are people like Jax, are people like Vayne, and that's what Rain are playing on. Shyvana also scales pretty well too.
What we saw in the games with FM eSports, though, and Unicorns of Love, is that Unicorns of Love didn't even require that late game team composition as such, not quite so heavy with the Vayne Jax, to actually use their decision-making in the late game to win out. They never lost easy inhibitor turrets. They forced a lot for the one that they did lose. And then ultimately, it took FM just too long to get down to the base. And it was actually just a little bit of time wasting by the remaining members of Unicorns of Love that actually held that game for them. So they're very confident in their late game decision-making skills.
Yeah, and I would agree. Now, we haven't seen Zodiaz on Orianna except for when Digger picked up Ziggs in the winners bracket final, and actually Digger went really big that game, actually shutting out Zodiaz's Orianna completely. So it'll be interesting to see how Zodiaz plays the Orianna this time round.
Yeah, now we are into game here. Game two of our grand finals, but game one that we are playing through here. So if there are any Unicorns of Love fans, they are starting on the blue side. Any Unicorns of Love fans in the crowd? A couple.
Couple.
I have a feeling, though.
Yeah, I have a feeling most of you guys have been going for Rain. Any Rain fans in the crowd?
And this is what we've seen of Rain pretty much consistently throughout the tournament. While on red side, they've been invading, they've been very aggressive, and really just Rain have been confident in their early game. And I will swap around all of the scoreboards now, but we've seen them pick up this early ward to drop at the buff.
Yeah, they also drop it down just below the inner turret to check on lane swaps. Now, there hasn't been anything flashy coming out from Unicorns of Love. They have stuck Kha'Zix in that top lane, and they just stick that ward there just in case the bot lane do back and then run up to that top lane. But we have seen mind games of from Unicorns of Love before. They do kind of duke out. They kind of send their top lane past that ward and then send them back, and then the bot lane goes there as well. But at the moment, it looks like a standard 1v1, 1v1, 2v2 setup coming out from Unicorns of Love here. And I think that plays into Rain's favor.
Yeah, I think Rain are going to be pretty content with that. They have to just be careful that doesn't put too much pressure on the Vayne in the bottom lane. Of course, Vayne doesn't have the greatest of early games in that lane.
But we have seen Slight go very even with the Lucian lane, so I don't know whether he'll be confident. However, it does look like Blackjack is heading up to that top lane, so Slight then may move up with the Vayne and 2v1 the Kha'Zix, which will shut the Kha'Zix out, so he won't be getting that early game advantage that he needs.
This is something that we've mentioned about Leona lanes. As we are into a pause, hopefully that isn't too long, I wonder. I can't quite see whether the players are still in game or not, but we've seen Leona in the 2v1s. Not quite as good as other supports in that 2v1 lane, because melee range, you have to dive into tower.
There's two reasons people would opt to 2v1. It's either you don't want to go 2v2, or you want to push some turrets down and starve out the farm of one of the members. So they're going to put 2v1 to try and starve out Kha'Zix, I guess, because Vayne Leona is not the best tower pushing, but they can get dives off. So if Nutri does react and come up for dives on Kha'Zix, it won't be hard for Blackjack to get a Zenith Blade combo and get a couple of kills there if they can. However, that bot lane turret will go down very quickly. Lucian and Thresh both ranged. Lucian gets the double auto attack every time he uses a skill, and they don't have the auto attack blocking passive on the turrets in the bottom lane. So that if Unicorns of Love play this right, they'll be getting the first turret of the game.
I honestly feel that Rain, when doing this 2v1 lane swap with the Vayne Leona lane, has kind of been a bit lucky. They've been gifted a lot on the map when they've run it, because they did it against Infused, and Infused very strangely took the tower and then never capitalized on it.
So that's the point. When you put a 2v1 lane in that top lane, you lose dragon control. And I think it's something that Unicorns of Love, I don't think will make the same mistake on, especially with the Xin Zhao and getting towards that Ringle's Lantern as well. They'll start to take control of that dragons. And once that bot lane turret goes down, expect to see a rotation from Unicorns of Love.
Yeah, I full well expect that. It'll be Master Shibi timing out very nicely so that it's either the two towers that we've seen a lot in NALCS, or that tower and the dragon if you're trading one for one. And I have a feeling it'll be that dragon and one tower.
Nutri already heading up towards that blue buff with the 2v1 lane that does give you the control of the enemy's blue buff area, as you can get a rotation down from Vayne and Leona. Kha'Zix in the position though, just going to take away that white. He's going to go very low here. He has to be very careful that Nutri's not going to catch him out. No, Nutri does get the ward across, is going to go straight across, but then again, Unicorns of Love are reciprocating. They do know exactly get Nutri's game. He's done it every time they've played him, and they're going to go away and take the blue buff of him.
Yeah, Blackjack actually coming down to assist, as has Hyla Sang on that blue buff. So very standard starts here in the current meta with the roaming phase. And you can see already in that middle lane, Digger using the Pig's auto attacks, but he gets tagged pretty heavily here by Zodiaz. And this is already quite a back and forth lane. Teleports coming out as this is looking to push the top lane. We've seen this out of a couple of teams here, this fourth-man push.
FM did this. Warrior takes a couple of tower shots for his trouble, but he's up in that top lane. He's going to start pushing it as Nutri rotates around. This is a four-man push, but it's reciprocated in that bot lane with the double teleports. This is going to be tower for tower. But then look at the dragon. The control that Unicorns of Love are going to have after this can go and get a very early dragon. Won't be worth much gold, but will be worth a little bit.
Yeah, the towers are going to fall at pretty identical times here, and now is the question of how comfortable are Rain and Unicorns of Love of continuing this push. Unicorns of Love, we've talked about before, have beaten teams like Cloud9 Europe, and really just are used to this kind of playstyle, and instantly they pull the trigger on it. They're going for that inner tower, which is just a sign of this confidence. You can see Rain backed off a little bit. They weren't too sure about actually committing to it, and now they're slightly later to it. So, I mean, I expect both towers to to fall
yeah,
here.
they need to be careful that they don't lose their inhibitor turret too. Look how low their turret is in the bottom lane there, the top lane for Rain. It's not going to go down in time, and they're going to get a good amount of damage onto this inhibitor lane turret. Look at this. This is exactly what Gambit did in the LCS, and they lost out for it. Dario not receiving the support that he needed, and look at Unicorns 11. They're going to go straight in for it. Actually leaving Slight to push down this turret by himself, so it's going to end up being a 3v4, and that's Warrior going in. He's not going to get the Zenith Blade that forces the flash away, and they're just going to get away scot-free, but look how low that bottom lane inhibitor turret is already. That's
a good amount of damage, but remember, inhibitor towers will regenerate health very slowly over time, so it won't be that much of a weak spot, because I feel like now that this four-man push has ended, Unicorns of Love would have to commit a lot to that, and that draws them very far away from any safety, so they need to establish wards if they want to capitalize on that, but what it does give them is an incredible amount of dragon control here, because for Rain to try and contest a dragon, they are so far from any bottom lane turrets that it is actually pretty dangerous for them to get out there.
The pings are coming down from Unicorns of Love already for that dragon. There are no wards on the side of the map for Rain, except for I think Nutri is now moving down to shove a ward there, just so they have a bit of vision. However, it is no control. In fact, he's not going to put a ward, he's just going to go and check they're not doing it. But then Jax is just freezing that lane out, and while that lane is frozen, Unicorns of Love can capitalize and go for that dragon.
Yeah, he just used his trinket ward, so he wasn't actually able to do that. He was just making sure there was nobody hanging around from Unicorns of Love. Let's take a look at the experience across the board. As you can see, Vizichachi actually suffered a little bit from that. He was only level 2 up until very recently, so he needs a little time now to just sit off in a lane. But what that's also going to do is give Warrior the time to farm, because if they're not going toe-to-toe in lane, each one of them will be getting free farm in the lane, and the rest of the members of the team will be rotating around.
And you say this all the time with the Jax and the Vayne. Jax needs the free farm, and so does Vayne. And so Vayne got that free farm on the top lane. She went 10 seconds. Look, Digger's going to get caught out by a death sentence. Xin Zhao's going to come in. The top knockup's not going to be there. As he flashes, he's not going to get the last auto attack. Blackjack goes in kind of silly, gets the stun onto Master of Sheepy. There's Vayne in the background. I think Blackjack's going to escape with his life. That was very lucky.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage early on, and a little bit lucky by Rain to get away with that one without a kill, but as of yet, damage not too great from the early pushes means that experience really is starved on the members of the team. So, however, Unicorns of Love putting the damage down, forcing a couple of members back, gives them the time to push here in the middle lane. Hyosang didn't quite land the hook on that one, but they're going to be content just to shove this lane in. But again, meanwhile, Kha'Zix and Jax all free farming off in the solo lane.
They need to be very careful. Lulu hasn't got the wave clear that she needs right now to deal with this entire thing, so Master of Sheepy, if he wanted to, could have gone for the dive, but the backup from Nutri and Blackjack means that he's just going to back away.
Yeah, and really that's just going to be the way this game's going to play out, is if they're going to stay as a 4, they're not going to push into each other any time soon, and I would be a bit surprised if Rain actually wanted to try this, because...
Teleport's not available on Vizzy.
Okay, they do know the teleport isn't available then, so this actually could be a fairly safe dragon for this, and I mean the hook goes over. Wow, okay,
wow,
Vardags steals it away. That should not have happened. A daylight robbery.
Daylight robbery right there, and it was just with an Ardent Blaze as well, so that doesn't even do too much damage. Nutri just slipping the finger there, unfortunately, not managing to get a smite off, and they might even lose top lane turret for this if they're not careful.
Yeah, Vizichachi has been pushing up there, but I think they already called it. I think they spotted them on the ward coming through mid, so they know that to rotate out towards that one. No need to drop any kills there. And Unicorns of Love just starting this one out that little bit ahead here. We're even on the turrets, but as for where that gold is from, it's pretty much in the CS. A little lead for Kha'Zix, a little lead in the middle lane as well.
Yeah.
So
only 1,000, not too much of a big deal for Rain right now. Nutri not actually doing a great job of out-farming Xin Zhao right now, though. It's moderately equal there. Looks like in the bot lane, they're just swapping around again. Vardags is going to push up with Hyosang, and Slight is going to push up with Blackjack there. Everyone just backing off now. So after that Dragon Steal, what are we going to see? We're going to probably see a bit of a rotation for that bot lane turret, as it will go down fairly easy now for Rain.
Yeah, I mean, if they do decide to pressure that, you can see Unicorns of Love are already kind of reacting to that. They've got Lucian down there shoving a big wave in, so they have enough time to rotate members to defend, and I feel like they really want to pressure this middle lane turret. It's already at half health here for Unicorns of Love, and that's pretty much a quick rotation. If they see Vayne and Leona down in the bottom lane, it's a big weak spot right now, and they know the buffs are in the middle of being done, and here's the push. They've spotted people off the map.
Blackjack gets speed up, he goes in with the flash, gets a stun onto Master of Sheepy, in comes Nutri, but this great shockwave stops Nutri from getting on top of them. Jax is coming in, flashes with the counter strike. First blood is going to go down to Jax on Warrior, and he's going to get back away with that. good start for Jax.
Big kill there. That was a really necessary kill. Jax had spent time away from lane, and they were losing a lot in the side lanes as Kha'Zix has just sat there. So a kill onto Jax is going to be a good way of getting Rain later and later into this game. It kickstarts his build a little bit, but they have to be careful here because that tower in the middle lane is really low health. It's a good thing that it didn't end up dropping, but Unicorns of Love are really just going to continue to pressure that.
And right now, Omega, or Slight rather, just freezing that lane in the bot lane, getting the CS advantage that he needs. He's currently a little bit of CS behind the Lucian, where that's because Lucian has farmed a couple of waves, but look at Slight, just getting the free farm that Vayne's going to need to get herself her core items, which is that black Blade of the Rune King and Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, once she has that Blade of the Rune King and Phantom Dancer, that's the point where Slight is going to build his foundation.
Oh, Vizzy doing a lot of damage to Warrior in the top lane right now. He needs to be very careful. Warrior does not have his flash available.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to really kick off that quickly because Warrior still has Grandmaster's Might available and can leap strike out if he really needs to. Has that ward available from his trinket. And he's actually looking to get assistance from Nutri. You can see Nutri was heading towards that top lane, but actually
he jumps in with Counter-Strike. He does get that empowered shot from his passive on his ultimate there. Doesn't mean that mid-lane tower is going to go down too. And Digger and Nutri are not going to be able to defend it themselves. So a good amount of global gold going in favor of Unicorns of Love right now.
And they've been working that turret for the last few minutes. They finally secure that and now can change their attention to somewhere else on the map. And Vizicachi's been doing a good job in that top lane of getting damage down onto it. Unicorns of Love are really just sticking as this four-man squad here. Warrior is pretty low, but a Shockwave in the middle.
Shockwave in the middle, doesn't going to catch out anyone. Digger's going to get away with his life, so no kills going down. Warrior needs to be really careful, but Blackjack is there to back him up. Vizzy needs to be careful now, because the passive damage from Leona will be very, very powerful. He's going to go straight onto Warrior. Warrior has just popped the Counter-Strike and the Grandmaster's Might. He's going to back away. There comes the exhaust. Nutri actually jumps in. A little bit of lag, gets the kill there. Nutri going to get himself ahead in the jungle too. Xin Zhao is now moving around. Sheepy is going to try and get the kill on Warrior, but I think he's going to get the back away in time. Nutri is just going to back off.
Oh man, Warrior was just out of vision for Sheepy there. One audacious charge would have easily picked that kill up. And that was a risky play by Warrior and Blackjack, but they read the mana pool of Vizicachi very well. They knew he only had one Taste Their Fear available, and then Counter-Strike would allow him to survive through the auto attacks that undoubtedly would have killed Warrior. So that was a really good read on the mana pool of a Kha'Zix in a 2v1 situation.
Yeah, and Slight in the top lane now with Blackjack. Blackjack really needs to hit that level 6 so they can start making some catches across the map, because that's what Rain have been doing so well all tournament long, using the catches from their support just to sort of boost their gold lead. And they get most of their gold through kills, because at the moment, most of the global objectives are going in favor of Unicorns of Love. Yeah,
first Dragon did go to Unicorns of Love, of course, and it will be once again available in 1 minute 15. So look for Unicorns of Love this time to get a little bit more ward coverage out. It was a little bit of a forced issue for them because it was off the backside of a bit of a skirmish. So Unicorns didn't quite have the ward coverage. Ended up sealing with that Ardent Blaze, which is kind of unexpected in that situation.
And expect Vizzy to hang around this mid or bot lane area because he does not have teleport available. He used it to try and save some damage on the mid lane turret. However, Slight in that top lane, and we've seen this before from Slight, he always doesn't seem in the right position for the Dragon. Looks like they're trying to get a bit of coverage onto the blue buff of Rain. Not going to get a one in the brush, just going to get it there to cover it, the blue buff spawn, which should be coming up fairly soon.
He just about has enough time to head down to that Dragon area, but it'll be right as Dragon spawns.
So close, so close.
He's really cutting it fine and has to get down to that area. So does Nutri as well, and really they need Jax as the one up in the top lane. There is a wave pushing in towards the Unicorns of Love, so it's not too desperate that they get him up there, but really that's how you utilize that teleport. You make sure that Jax is the one split pushing and free farming, but they've got to make the decision of who do they want to give that free farm to, Vayne or Jax. It's both useful, but they're looking for a pick here after they get the wards out. It's going to be 5v5 in this lower side of the jungle just as Dragon spawns.
Oh, they are just stacking up where they've got that pink ward coverage, the lack of vision. Warrior's going to get caught, so is Nutri. The box comes out, Warrior's got the Counter-Strike, Nutri's getting very low. There's the wild growth. Master and Sheepy hasn't gone down yet. Everyone's very low. Vizzy takes out Rain, Nutri. Blackjack's very low too. Slight is in the wrong position right there. He is very, very in the middle. He's used the heal though, so he's going to try and take out Vardas. Digger's doing a lot of damage right now. Triple kill for Vizzy. Blackjack gets pulled back in. All it's going to take is one quad. Oh, this could be a penta for Vizzy. Penta kill for Vizzy on Kha'Zix this early into the game. 13 minutes.
An astronomical dragon fight for Unicorns of Love. They get the pentakill onto possibly the most deadly champion to have that on, and that's a pentakill on a Kha'Zix at this point who didn't even have evolved leap. He'd evolved Taste Their Fear from the lane.
That's the earliest pentakill in competitive play I think I've ever seen.
We'll have to check record books on that
maybe
one.
not level ones, but
the
very,
first one
very
I've
good.
seen. I'll give you that.
That's what I said I've ever seen anyway, but very, very well played. And Taste Their Fear, he got the isolations off right there. Hylasang may get caught out here by Rain Warrior. No, the flash does just manage to escape from the counter-strike. Unfortunately, Slight was stuck in the middle of that Dragon team fight and couldn't get the damage off that he needed.
Warrior just expended a lot that actually now reduces Rain's map control. He expended the teleport and expended flash, so he's not really able to sit in a lane on his own anymore halfway across the map because he's just not useful anymore. And that's not a good position to be in considering he didn't even get the kill on the support. And he really would have liked that because he's given away free farm. Look at the CS difference between Jax and Kha'Zix, and it's because they've been making the decision to give Vayne the solo lane farm rather than have Jax take it, that Jax is just a little bit further behind. And we've talked time and time again that until Jax gets that Blade of the Ruined King Trinity Force, he's never going to be able to fight anybody in a 1v1 situation, let alone a 5-1 Kha'Zix who just picked up a last Whisper.
And a Brutalizer, so he's counteracting any early armor that Neutral will be opting to build with that Ninja Tab. You're going to need about 250 to 300 armor to make it that you can still tank out the damage there. So he's counteracted any armor that can be built against him already.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot to be in because he's going to be nearing level 11 fairly soon, and that's when I expect him to take leap. So he got a pentakill without the resets.
Without the resets.
Oh dear, I'd love to go back and see that fight if we had instant replay, because I'd love to see how Rain split up, because I have a feeling they isolated themselves time and time again in that fight, and of course the Evolved Taste Their Fear is just going to deal so much damage to an isolated target that really is how that fight went in their favor.
Yeah, in the meantime, they're going to push up against Digger. Digger does not have the wave clear to deal with all of these minions, I don't think. Vardax and Hylasang are going to push down this top lane turret, but Nutri is in the back line. Master of Sheepy is coming in as well. We may see an engage here, although Blackjack and Vayne are coming to provide a bit of support.
It's just enough to deter the Unicorns of Love from fighting, but they're going to go for
comes
it.
down. Nutri gets the ultimate into the middle of them. Hylasang hasn't got his flash available. Nutri's going to have to force the flash as well. Vizzy comes in. A great ultimate from Blackjack is going to save Nutri's life. There comes Vizzy. He's going to go on to Blackjack. Blackjack uses the heal, and they're going to escape, and that was very, very tense.
Oh, a tense moment. No kills there, but Nutri flashing up red. And this is a 5v4 here. Jax, no teleport available. We've talked about that already, and he's down in the bottom lane farming away. So this is going to be a heavy push onto the tower. Leona is under half health. So is the tower. There's not a lot that Rain can do. They have to back away.
They have to back away. This is going to be a tower going over to Unicorns of Love, stretching their gold lead to 3.5k at about 16 minutes in the game, which you would call fairly substantial. Oh, Digger needs to be careful. Nearly got flayed there. Hylasang does have the death sentence available if he manages to hit it.
Oh man, that reverse flay just too short. Nutri is back here in the top lane.
Needs to react. Nutri's going in. Digger gets caught out. The flash comes down. He has got wild growth available if he wants it. Shut down onto Vizzy. There is in the back line. Slight has popped the ultimate, but he's very low. Needs to be careful of the audacious charge. No, Nutri takes that one to the face, and he's going to go down. Visage
actually getting shut down, though, is a pretty important moment, though. They've got the gold handed over to Rain, and that's going to help them come back into this game, but they really can't afford to fight this. This might just be another inner turret here going to Unicorns of Love. That'd be their second inner.
The wild growth comes out straight from Blackjack. Hylasang maybe going to go down to the turret. No, Zodiac is going to pick up the kill onto Leona there. Master of Sheepy nearly going down to the turret at the same time. Digger is trying to get a bit of a cheeky glitter lance maybe to try and finish him off, but they're content possibly to trade that bottom turret for the kill.
Yeah, they're going to back away now. Let's have a look at the gold that is on the champions right now. 1,600 on Lucian. They want to go and transform that into further items. And, you know, Rain will breathe a sigh of relief that they managed to hold that inner tower there. That was quite a bit of a precarious moment there for Rain. Jax has been farming enough to get himself the Blade of the Ruined King, so he's on the way to becoming, once again, useful in this game. But Kha'Zix getting taken out of that fight so early on meant that it didn't matter that Jax was down in that bottom lane farming.
Yeah, and Omega picking up, or Slight rather, picking up his Blade of the Ruined King too. So they have two Blade of the Ruined Kings now, so kite potential will be going up. However, next Dragon's coming up in 1 minute 30. Expect Unicorns of Love to exert their pressure and get the rotation down and pick that one up fairly easily.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Unicorns of Love really need to secure the Dragon. They're ahead, but against this team composition, they have to be careful that Rain don't get too far, or sorry, get too close to them as this game goes on. Just quickly looking at the Feral Flare stacks, Shyvana currently at 23, Xin Zhao up at just about 14 there, so a big difference.
Yeah, again we're seeing Nutri, even though he's behind, pushing on those Feral Flare stacks, and once he gets that, his objective control will skyrocket. Xin Zhao maybe going to be waiting until around the 25-minute mark before finishing his off. However, they are looking to push down on this middle outer turret, which will be a good pickup for them because it will provide control across both sides of the jungle. Blackjack gets caught by a death sentence. They're going to go in. Nutri goes straight onto Blackjack's ultimate right there. The ultimate comes out from Xin Zhao. Nutri going very low. Look at the shockwave, put Nutri in a bad position. Zodiacs is going to pick up the kill. Blackjack goes down to Warrior is stuck in the middle there. He's going to get killed, possibly. No, the flash comes out and uses the leap strike to get away in the backline. No, Digger's going very low. Slight's going to go low too. Here comes the heal. Slight's going to get taken out by Vizzy, and that's a 3-for-0 in exchange in favor of Unicorns of Love, but they are very low. Probably going to back out and take that Dragon.
Yeah, they're very low, but just healthy enough to take the Dragon. Interesting point there, Vizzy's actually evolved his active camo once again, that Void Assault, so not opting for the resets, but oh wow, Blackjack, you've got to be careful here. He's warded over so they know he's there, but he's going to hide away. They're just going to try and delay this Dragon attack.
He's going to get caught out by that ward. He needs to be really careful of a stray death sentence from Hylestang.
I think he's just far enough away that Unicorns really want to do Dragon, but he's delayed them enough that maybe Warrior could look to do something here. It is heavily against them in the numbers, so they will get away from this one. I think that is the right call there by Unicorns of Love. They do not want to fight Jax. They don't want to give him any more kills.
Yeah, they're stretching that gold lead up to 6k now at 20 minutes, so going to have a couple of items in favor of themselves. All of the kills going down onto Vizzy, so he's really powerful. He's going to be the target of choice, picking up that Hex Drinker, which you so love on Kha'Zix.
Well, it's such a good item with the Void Assault. The way that you get that damage reduction, any shields just pretty much get doubled when you have that Void Assault available. It's effective double what the shield provides. But, you know, Rain are doing a pretty good job of keeping on top of objectives themselves. They've got 3 towers in the bag from that early tower push into the rotations that they've had. So they are holding, you know, they're holding fairly close with regards to the limits of how far Unicorns of Love can get ahead before Rain can come back into it. They're right about that point that if Unicorns can take a couple more objectives, they could end up just snowballing the game through.
Yeah, Rain, if they keep a hold on till 30 minutes, may have a better chance of doing well in teamfights. They need to get Omega or Slight rather in the right position to make sure he doesn't get isolated by the Kha'Zix. And this is the problem of picking Vayne into a Kha'Zix. You want to isolate yourself so you're outside the teamfight, but you're going to put yourself at a position where you can get caught out by a leap. It looks like they are going to push down onto this middle outer turret, so they need to be very careful as Jax is in that bot lane freezing out the wave just to get a bit of extra CS. And it looks like you're going to get a death sentence onto Digger. Digger's going to go very low after using the Wild Growth. A great shockwave yet again. Vizzy's going to get exhausted. Nutri is under the tower. A great ultimate coming up from Blackjack, stunning up 4 people, forcing them to back away from that turret.
The Warrior has crossed over here as well, so they may restart this fight as Warrior looks to
Warrior
leap
goes
strike.
in with the Gleep Strike and the Counter Strike, going to hit no one. All those who are using the Blade of the Rude King onto Vizzy. Blackjack's going to be taken very low. Master Rashidi getting the heal onto him. Warrior is looking hungry though. He really wants to get a couple of kills here. He needs to be careful of the death sentence. He's just going to leap away. And right now, Unicorns of Love are just too powerful, even to fight on the turret for Rain.
Yeah, Unicorns of Love are just too strong right now, and Hylestang is a little bit low on mana, so can't get those hooks, but it's enough here for Unicorns of Love to really exert themselves over that middle lane and take that tower down. 11 kills to 6, 5 towers to 3 here, 7,000 gold, and I'm starting to wonder how do Rain stop all of these objectives tumbling, because they're starting to get to a point where it may just be a very, very uphill battle.
Very much so. You can't stop a charging unicorn, I'm afraid.
You get stuck with the pointy end.
Well, no one wants that. Anyway, moving back in, Baron is still on the map and still very weak early on, having not completed his Feral Flare. However, I don't think they'll be opting to rush a sneaky Baron, as there is a ward on the side of Rain also. Although Vayne is now working towards her second item. Her Phantom Dancer may be coming out fairly soon, so as you can hear, very animated side on Unicorns of Love.
I thought unicorns were meant to be peaceful creatures, but they're actually pretty loud.
Yeah, well, we'll see what's going on in a few minutes when that comes back into the fray. Slight, once he finishes that Phantom Dancer, will have better kiting potential. The Randuin's has been finished for Shyvana, so Nutri will be able to get in the fray, activate that Randall Zone and slow down and hopefully kite for Vayne a little bit better. They really need to focus on getting Jax and Vayne to their position where they can start to carry. And that's going to be another few minutes yet, as Jax hasn't even finished the stage.
Yeah, and, you know, Unicorns of Love are just doing a really good job of focusing down all of these
Void Assault
turrets.
comes out. There's Slight. He uses the Condemn, but there he's coming back in. The power of Vizzy on the Void Assault. He's going to get another one out. He's got the Rain isolated. He's going to go down, possibly no. He's going to back off. Now Vizzy's in the wrong position. Going to go down to Warrior. Neutri, on the other hand, going to get caught out by a Death Sentence. Going to go down to Hylasang's auto attack there. And that was a 1-for-1 trade. No, actually, Lucian went down in the fray. I didn't manage to catch that, actually.
Yeah, Lucian died in the middle of the rest of the fight as Unicorns of Love just were a little bit too split up there. I don't think they were anticipating the 5-man stack in that top side of the jungle here for Rain, and they're actually going to do essentially the Fnatic strategy.
The Fnatic stack. Camp a bush and hope we catch out someone.
It's
Warrior,
okay, they'll catch Warrior if he actually goes that way. But
yeah, he needs to be careful of a stray Death Sentence. They are all moving around. Death Sentence comes onto the small money, gets a good play onto Warrior. Warrior gets the exhaust. He's going to get the counter-strike down. I don't know, he's going to flash over the wall, then leap strike. He's going to get away scot-free. Great play there from Warrior.
And now they might be a little bit caught out here. It depends on whether Rain can actually catch up.
Oh, can the Condemn come out from Slight? They need to be really careful here. The Dissonance comes down from more. Oh, the Blade of the Ruin King coming onto Master Sheepy. Master Sheepy turns up to Slight, but there's the Wild Growth. Actually condenses away, saves his life. Blackjack gets pulled in a little bit forwards. Vizzy is already in there, though, and they're going to have to back away.
Yeah, they're going to have to back out from that one, and the the Whimsy from Lulu to speed them up and get into the fight. Rain are actually turning tail completely here. They do not want any of the Unicorns of Love in this top lane. They've already expended quite a few ultimates. You look, Grandmaster's Might is down, Solar Flare still wasn't available, neither was the Wild Growth. So really, Rain have to hold off on this fight, at least until Solar Flare has just become available. Now is the kind of point that they can maybe take a defensive fight, but without that Lulu ultimate, there's a lot of the disruption missing. Neutri as well doesn't quite have the Dragon's Ascent ready.
Lulu ultimate going to be available in 25 seconds. I don't know if they have that kind of time to defend this turret. The minion wave pushing. Got the wave clear from Lulu, but that's the only person that can offer any kind of wave clear, and they're going to be very careful. I think Unicorns of Love are wary. They know they're ahead, but they need to be very careful about how far ahead they actually are.
Yeah, they're going to back away because they're not actually gaining much ground here, and there's a big wave pushing in towards the bottom. They just really want to exert themselves over this top side of the map and just hold Rain in one place.
Blackjack going to face check here. The Death Sentence misses. Neutri goes straight in there. The Wild Growth hitting onto Master Shibi. The heals come down. Heal doing a lot of damage. Oh, a 4-man shockwave gets Slight in the wrong position. He is very low right now. We're not going to be able to get any more auto attacks off, but look at Warrior in the fray. Manages to pick up a kill for himself onto Master of Shibi. This is a 1-for-0 right now. Rain would be wise to back out.
Yeah, Rain are backing away from this because Vizicachi is still incredibly powerful even without the resets. He's running fairly low on mana, so only can really take one more set of skirmish fights. But, you know, over time, Vizicachi, unless he can get kill after kill in fights and get the resets on that third evolution, he's going to become less effective after that first kill, unless he can annihilate Vayne from the fight. And if that can happen, Rain are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're going to take away this Dragon, though. Even though they don't have Master of Shibi for the smite, they knew that Rain were all too low to bother contesting. So, again, they probably take the kill for the Dragon any day, and they do rotate round, and now going to take away the blue buff too, starving it yet another one from Digger.
And that goes over to Zodiaz. And Unicorns of Love are going to head back to the Fountain. And they've got a fair amount of gold on some of the players. They're just going to round out a couple of the items there and make sure they're in a good stead here for this next kind of push. They've been really trying to work that top lane tower. And to be honest, that's what they've been doing the entire game, is they've been picking a tower and going for it. But the problem with that is it's taking them quite a while to do it. Even though they've been getting kills, this game is dragging later and later, and really that will start favoring Rain.
Yeah, and Rain will start to get their power into about 35 minutes, even though they have been delayed. Slight only needs about 400 gold, and then he's got that Phantom Dancer, and Phantom Dancer Blade of the Ruin King Vayne is very good for kiting. Jackson, on the other hand, nearly finishing that Sheen, won't be too far away from the Trinity Force. Those are the two core items that he needs before he can start doing his real damage. Digger just going to get himself away from Hylasang, afraid of the kind of death sentence that can come out. And at the moment, it's very tentative. Everyone vying for Baron control right now.
You can see that the game has had a lot of 4v4 stacks with one member in the solo lane, just looking at the CS. Typically, nearing the 30-minute mark, you're starting to see well over 200 CS, but the fact is everybody's been competing for CS in these multi-man lanes. The numbers are only just about breaching 150, 200 on a couple of champions. And really, that just means a lot of these champions aren't quite as powerful at this stage in the game as you'd expect.
Yeah, they are going to look around for Baron control of Unicorns of Love right now. Just going to clear out that ward to deny vision from Rain. They're all very baity right now. They're going to try and push out that top lane, as well as Jax now moving down to that bottom lane. Does have the teleport available should it come to a death fight at the Baron. They are, just look at them, they're really trying to bait this one out.
Yeah, they know that if they can secure control, it at least forces Rain to play their game. You don't want Rain to be able to just free farm off in a side lane and just push in towards your turrets, because if you give Jax 30 seconds to do that, he'll have a turret. Pretty much without...
Lulu also completed 2 of her core items, the teams, but they are going straight for this Baron. They don't have the ward coverage to know that it's happening, and there's Nutri. He has got that ward down now. It is going to be Pink, giving them a little bit more vision time, but look, I don't know if they're in a contest. Blackjack is a little bit far out. Nutri goes straight in, gets flayed away before the Dragons the second come down. The Shogun only hitting onto Nutri in the backline. Slight is doing some damage. Baron is currently tanking everybody up, but Baron still hasn't gone down, going over to Unicorns of Love, but look at Jax in the mid lane. He's going to get isolated there, going to get double kill down to Vargags. Looks like Rain is slightly going to get caught out a little bit in the wrong side of the map right here. He's going to have to try and move away. He's going to get away with the speed boost of Lulu. And again, another fight going in favor of Unicorns 11. It was very close.
Warrior teleported really late into that fight. It was only right as Nutri died that he actually came in. And they had lost vision on the Baron for a while. Nutri had to Dragon's Descent over the wall to even try and get in there. And Rain just couldn't contest that Baron the way they were split up. Unicorns of Love will take the Baron buff and now rotate out towards the top tower, which is already heavily weakened here by Unicorns of Love, and this is a great position for them to be in. It's very difficult now for Rain to really fight any of the members of Unicorns of Love, and I feel like it's just going to be a repeat performance. Unicorns of Love are going to shove their waves out, make sure that Jax cannot get down into a solo lane, and then just shove on towards an inhibitor turret.
The benefit that Rain have now are there are no global objectives that they have to worry about outside of their own base. So they can farm inside their own base right now without worrying about contesting for a dragon or contesting for a Baron. They've got another 5 minutes before those become relevant again.
Yeah, that's a fair old amount of time there. About 9,000 gold is the gold lead here between these two teams.
And we saw Unicorns of Love have a 10k deficit against... Oh, there's going to be an engage onto Digger right there, but the heal comes down, just going to force them to back away. They really want this mid lane turret. I don't know whether this is the best option for them. Death Sentence comes out. There's the wild growth onto Digger, but he's going to go down to Zinzao. Blackjack taking a lot of damage. Good stun coming out from Blackjack. Slight taking a lot of damage too. All it's going to require is one more Q. Nutri going to sacrifice himself for the team. There's the double kill, and that's a 3-for-0 exchange in favor of Unicorns of Love.
Unicorns of Love will now take this inhibitor turret. There's not a lot to stop them here, even without the minions. I think they're just going to face
death sentence.
Didn't quite land the flash death sentence, but Hylasang is healthy enough to tank this one up. That'll be an inhibitor likely going over towards the Unicorns of Love, and they are firing the first shot here in this best of 5 finals. They're looking to even things up.
Yeah, this will even the score if they do manage to hit the game. It's not over yet though. Never say over till the fat lady sings, and right now Leona's looking like she wants to get a bit of action on this top lane turret. They are going to take it down though. A couple of seconds before Nutri and Slight are back up. Not going to take the inhibitor, however, so just the global gold going in favor of Unicorns. Yeah,
they just want to get that gold. They got 2,100 onto Kazik, so they just want to make sure that the next time they fight, they are at their absolute peak damage spike that they can possibly have right now in this game. So Unicorns of Love will head back. I believe it's a Vamp Scepter just picked up alongside, looks like a finished Randuin's onto Kha'Zix there. So gets that extra lifesteal, gets that extra armor there with that Randuin.
I just want to pick up on how well Zodiac has been playing on Orianna this game. Shockwaves have been on point every single team fight, and that's really hard to do as a very good Orianna player. In that top tier, the Shockwaves make all the difference. So he's sitting at 2-2-15. It would seem like he's been quiet, but actually been making quite a lot of difference across these team fights.
Yeah, that 15 really is the number that tells the whole story of that. Only one behind the Thresh lane here. Thresh being involved with 16 of the 17 kills. And actually, Orianna in 50, that's a high percentage of...
So we gave Hylasang some stick for his Thresh play, but I feel like he's proven us wrong.
I think he was just saving it. He was just trying to bait everybody into like letting him have Thresh in the grand finals.
Thinking to trying to sort of not show his true form. Not turn Super Saiyan. Just
interesting that he'd go for the face of the mountain as well. We've seen a couple of different Thresh players go for that, starting with the Targons, and Dragon has gone down as well. So Unicorns of Love just clearing the map for themselves. Interesting that Talisman of Ascension wasn't his choice, because we've seen a couple of supports buy the Relic Shield Targon spray to then sell it and swap it up for that Talisman of Ascension.
Do you have the Orianna Dissonance, however? So you can get the speed boost on your team from that if you are all clumped up. They are going to push down for this bot lane inhibitor turret. away. This could be very, very dangerous for Rain as Digger takes half of his health in one go. Slight also suffering the same fate. This is probably going to be a turret.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit with the pushing it onto the tower aspect of this because the waves are dying kind of quick with Lulu. Their Glitter Lance does a good job of clearing out most of the first set of minions that do arrive at the turret. But, you know, it's only a matter of time here before Unicorns are getting...
Nutri goes in. Blackjack gets the ultimate off. This doesn't actually stun everyone. Zodiac is still on full health. A great shockwave again hitting 4 members. Always on point with those shockwaves. Warrior's going to go down. Slight is down. Blackjack is already down. The heal has come out. Slight just surviving from that one heal. Double kill coming out onto Vizzy. I think Vardag is going to be the kill up on Vayne. And that's going to be game going over to Unicorns of Love. And well played. This is going to be tying things up in this best of 5. And the surrender vote to end it.
Unicorns of Love taking game number 1. That was an impressive showing by them. And you have to think the pick and ban phase might have gone a little bit differently because, of course, we offered out all of the teams a remake there on the pick and bans. And Rain chose not to ban Kha'Zix in that second time round.
Yeah, well, Kha'Zix going over to Vizzy, and he showed exactly why he is so good in him with that 13-minute pentakill. Got to be the play of the game right there, and that was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, hashtag I51 big plays.
Yeah, we have got skin codes and a bit of RP to give away, guys. So if you tweet me at Xgounder or tweet at Multiplay, I'm sure we'll be able to select someone, the best tweet after the game. Tweet who you think is going to win this best of 5. We'll select it after the game and get in contact with you.
We will indeed. I think we're going to get all the players set up into the lobby as quickly as we can, but I think we're going to take a very short break here as we head between games 1 and 2 of this series. So we're all tied up. It essentially becomes a best of 3. We'll be back with our second game of the day in just a couple of minutes.